Recording is in progress. Hello, everybody. Daryl Snyder, Friday, August 18th, and this is the Daily Deeper Dive podcast in conjunction with our partnership. One of our awesome partners, Ballpark Pal with Aaron. And this is the charts for Friday, August 18th. Ballpark Pal provides us with these awesome charts, and they're also one of the 7 daily player projection partners inside of the Contrarian Edge Optimizer. I'm going to knock this off in less than 30 minutes. I have a commitment at noon Pacific. We are sitting here in Southern California. If you're watching the news, there's a hurricane. Been here off and on since 2012 and never remember this type of a potential possibility. It's projected to hit landfall by a lot of the modelings and tropical storm headed our way. Hopefully that happens instead of the other modeling, which keeps it off the coast. And 60-mile-an-hour winds plus a lot of rain. So hurricane parties will be starting maybe this afternoon or tomorrow. But interesting. I think it's a category 4 out there already. But let's get to the Daily Deeper Dive podcast, where we take a deeper dive daily into Ballpark Pal Simulated 3000 MLB slate. It's a nice one, 13 games. You see the different charts. And my Giants are playing in hot Atlanta against those amazing, powerful Braves. Number 1 projected, not a surprise, Ohtani for the Angels, 26.5% to hit a home run, 18% matchup boost with Ramirez. The park's playing pretty neutral here in Anaheim. Next in line, Nolan Jones. That game is in Coors Field, always a boost, 24% to hit a home run, 24% matchup against the White Sox pitcher, 8% park boost. Jake Berger, a Yankee, looks like Yankees playing the Dodgers. Devise, nice matchup. Yankees having a year unlike any in a while. They're under 500, a ways back in that very tough American League East with the Rays and the Orioles at the top. Luis Robert, another White Sox in that Coors Field game against Lambert, 22% to hit a home run, matchup sort of neutral. Park plays with a boost, and then a Dodger against, oh, wait a second, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Berger was traded, I believe, from the White Sox, or from the Yankees to the White Sox, wasn't he? I believe so, because there's Alejandra, who's a Marlin. So Berger is a Marlin now. So it's a Marlin Dodger. It's not quite as prolific, but probably a better matchup than the Yankees would have been. So Max Muncy on the Dodgers side, 21% boost, almost a neutral matchup, and 8% Chavez Ravine ballpark boost. There's a Brave. Olsen projected with a nice matchup boost against Alex Cobb for the Giants. There's Josh Bell, Brian De La Cruz, not to be confused with Ellie from the Reds. I don't believe they're related. Could be. Ryan McMahon, another player in that Rockies game, and then Solar up there in Dodger Stadium, some nice matchup boost. What does the DFS report look like today? This is where he, by position, 3 of the top players projected fantasy scoring wise. Blue is FanDuel, green is DraftKings projections for the day. 3 in every position except for pitcher and outfield. He gives us the top 9. See Olsen at first, Kim at second, McMahon at third, Bobby Witt Jr., very up-and-coming player for the Royals, top projected shortstop, Diaz, and an ever-present Ohtani. heading up catcher, and designated hitter projections for the day. Pitchers, paperback Strider. And I don't call him that because I believe he has a paperback. It just reminds me of a song, Paperback Writer by the Beatles, way back in the day before most of you watching this video were even born. Giants, one of the top strikeout teams in the league. Against Strider, one of the top strikeout pitchers. Definitely deserves to be up there with 22.5 point projection in DraftKings, over 40 in FanDuel. Next in line is Lopez, then Woodruff. Woodruff has been pitching well since coming off the DL. You can see a few others. I think that rain out again, Cleveland today. They were a doubleheader scheduled, but I just heard they were postponed again. Outfield, not surprisingly, against my Giants and Mr. Cobb, you have Acuna. Number 1 there, Harris, another Brave, number 4 there, projected to pop as outfielders. So unfortunately, on both sides of the ball, the Braves pitcher looks to be a nice play tonight in that 13-game slate, as well as some Braves hitters against Alex Cobb, who he's been so-so. How so-so, you say? Well, let's take a look at the Ballpark Pal starting pitcher preview. This is a report card type over the last 1,000 pitches that the pitcher prefers to throw. Overall, grades out to the left. You can see Strider, as I had mentioned, about as good as you can get. And then across his 1,000 and his last 14 fastball, he throws 60% of the time. Slider, 33, change, not as much, rare, but he's graded A all the way across. He's projected 8.5 strikeouts against the Giants. I'm a big Giants fan, but I would safely say that's probably low. Unfortunately, you could have double digits by the 5th inning. They struck out 17 times as a team last week in one of the games, and I don't think the pitchers were throwing what Strider's capable of. Second in line, it looks like Woodruff, 7.4 projected strikeouts. As I said, he's graded like Strider. Look at this, a lot of green. It's good. Thinker, worst pitch, and that's still a B+. Throws a lot of 4-seam fastballs, slider, 17% change. So anybody else popping out? That's interesting. The Arizona bat, nice, coming along. Could be a sneaky play. Alcantara, maybe. I'm sorry. For the Marlins against those Dodgers, grading out well. I would say venture at your own risk against that powerful Dodger team that they won 1-0 a pitcher's duel last night. Burns against Lynn. I think the Dodgers 11th in a row, their longest streak of the season. So that will not be an easy task for the Marlins pitcher. On the other side, though, Gonsolin, about everything he's throwing isn't coming out too well. F, and F on his 4-seam fastball, sinker, and slider. So interesting, maybe sneak in a few Marlins like you saw that Bell and Solar were projected to pop, and that's the reason. Here's something that's been added recently: weather stadium report. These are symbols. You correlate the symbols. Here's the wind speeds. 1 bar less than 10, 2 bars 10 to 14, 3 bars 15 plus. Got humidity boost, barometric pressure boost from this chart. Not surprisingly, Coors Field. This time of the year, always a hitter's paradise. You've got temperatures into the 80s, winds blowing 10 to 14. They look like they're coming in and then maybe out to the right. Still 28% boost in runs, 18% at home runs, 34% doubles and triples. So that probably is going to correlate to an over-under 11.5, 12. Would imagine. Check that before starting. Another pitcher's not so fun place to pitch. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. You've got the Blue Jays facing the Big Red Machine. 12% boost in runs, 26% in home runs. Cincinnati pretty solid up and down. Their lineup: Votto, Ellie De La Cruz, Steer, Friedel. That's some nice batters you might want to look at. Who's pitching for the Reds? Is he a righty or lefty? Cincinnati. Where is the red symbol? I don't see it. Not listed on there yet, is it? Huh. And I get the pictures on. If it's a righty for the Reds, then Brandon Belt would be in play. Because right field is, I make jokes, I could hit it out with some wind, a wiffle ball. Pretty short porch. And I like Brandon today, definitely Votto. Look at the winds blowing out to right. Nice day, 70s in Cincinnati. I would tend to look at that game for some offense. Progressive field, neutral, winds coming in. Well, that guy even got rained out, so never mind that. I don't know, maybe there was too much water. Check that. It's a doubleheader. Maybe they're playing the second game, but was informed by a person before this call, before this video, that that game was rained out again. Atlanta, where the Giants are. Small boost in runs, 5%, home runs, 8%, winds blowing out light, less than 10, warm day in the 80s. So not as big a boost as I've seen. You got Strider and Cobb. It's never bad to target a red stack. If you pay Strider, he's 12-7 today. You're not going to get, unless you play a bullpen guy, you're not going to get the main core of Reds with this Olsen, Acuna, Murphy, Harris, Riley, D'Arnaud. Albies is out, but that does make for some salary relief with this substitute. Yankee Stadium, there's a rivalry. Red Sox, Yankees. There's where the Yankees are. They're not in Dodger Stadium, as Jake Berger, for some reason, was a White Sox, and he went to the Marlins, I believe. I think I have that right. But anyways, nice boost in home runs. Look for guys like Stanton and Judge to have some upside. I think that Rizzo's maybe injured. If he's not, could be a good day for him. On the Red Sox side of things, Yoshido, Turner, Devers, definitely all in play. That's probably, with that wind blowing out to right at over 15 miles an hour, probably a 10.5 total. So definitely going to be a favored place to look for your offense for DFS. Same thing in Anaheim, wind out, but pretty neutral, other than a little off on doubles and triples. We did see Ohtani, always someone you might want to look at. Opposite end of the spectrum, I'll talk about Dodger Stadium. There's a boost there. Chavez Ravine, light wind straight out, sunny day, and 9% boost in home runs. Oakland down, Busch Stadium, wind blowing in is down. Wrigley, we talk about Wrigley all the time. It can be yay or nay. It looks like nay today. 10% down in run production, 14 in home runs, wind directly out of the north. I don't see any bars, so I don't know if that means that's super light or if you just left them off, but definitely blowing in off the lake, which is conducive to pitchers having a better opportunity. So lots of great information there. I'm cruising right along. Exciting news from Fantasy Sports Logic, partnership with Drafters, Sportstopia. Currently $699.97. You say, wow, that's a lot of money. What do I get? You get a lot of value. You get 10 $20 entries while they last into the NFL $2 million best ball contest with Drafters with a nice $300,000 first place up for grabs. There's other prize packages for second, I believe, is 100 or 150. So you have 10 entries into there. You have $100 credit deposit on Drafters to do whatever you like. You can play 5 more entries into the best ball. You can play some of their contests as well as their prop picks. You get a lifetime subscription to what I'm about to show you, the Contrarian Edge Optimizer 7 Live player projection data partners in our proprietary secret sauce blend of the 7. 4, currently MLB, about to be NFL, following NBA and PGA all in one place, one time. That's a $299.97 value. More than that, if that's what it currently is, it'll be going up, but you get it as part of the package, so you can add all those together. As a bonus, you'll get to play in VIP promo only tournaments for no cost and participate in prize pools that will be very attractive. You get to gain access to what's going live next week with Content Sportstopia. It is our version of a go-to destination for daily articles and videos across MLB, NFL, NBA, PGA, and other late-breaking news relevant to fantasy sports and sports wagering. Absolutely free access to the premium content by just being a part of this package. And then this part, which is probably the most interesting part, you will gain access into our loyalty rewards program, is what we're calling it now. You can participate in up to 20% upside of the success of a platform like Sportstopia, like Drafters, like Fantasy Sports Logic, like a television network that is going to be talked about, access into red carpet premieres of a movie like The Game Within, the history of fantasy sports, with advisors that are some of the most respected in the industry. Peter Schenke from RotoWire, Ed Williams from formerly NBC Sports and Roto World. He's now the content director at Sportstopia. Check out any of the social media handles. Twitter, it's at Sportstopia HQ for headquarters. It'll be the same across Instagram, TikTok. What else is out there? Facebook. Probably forgetting, there's so many social media places now, but Twitter's probably one of the most followed in fantasy sports and sports wagering. So just starting to set those up. Excited about all that. Let me buzz over to the there's Twitter. There's my page. Started getting some traction. 73 followers. That's F Sports Logic, and then Sportstopia HQ. Just set up only 8 followers with flowers. You can have bragging rights to say you were there in the very beginning. Follow along. There'll be content streaming from there starting Monday morning, I believe 8:30 Eastern. There'll be a baseball show. Excited about that. What's this optimizer? Fantasy Sports Logic main slate. You can use it for DraftKings, FanDuel, all the slates that are available. This is DraftKings, main slate, turbo. There was an early slate, main slate, turbo slate, night slate, showdown slates. Like Cleveland, Detroit, again, I believe is rained out. You can do the showdown, Toronto, Cincinnati, White Sox, Rockies, Dodgers, Marlins. the highest projected pitcher today across all 7 partners, and these aren't just any 7. You've got Ballpark Pal, who provided the charts. This is exclusive to Fantasy Sports Logic, his feed. FTN data with Frank, 40,000 simulations of any given MLB game on the slate. Baker, we are one of the first to use their MLB 10,000 simulation. First year they offered that. It's offered by Sports Data IO, who is also a legacy providing feed partner. RotoWire, we talked about them. Shannon and Peter, they've been around, some of the most respected providers to the who's who in the industry. Sport Radar, Dan Williams, and Stats Perform. Not to be outdone, Corey. Been around since late 80s. Combined, I could safely say 100 years of experience. So you get in one place for one price currently, test drive for only $1, a lot of one place, one price, $1, 7 days, 7 providers in our proprietary secret sauce blend. You'll see Strider as high as 24 by RotoWire today. Our blend has him across the board at 21, followed by Lopez for the Twins against the Pirates. Mostly pitchers as usual, the highest projected, and then some of the stronger position players that are popping out. Looks like it's interesting. Who is the highest projection position player today? That's not surprising. It's Acuna, 6,800 against my Giants and Cobb, followed by Acuna. Actually is ahead of the Rockies starting pitcher, and he's more expensive, but doesn't surprise you. Doesn't surprise me. Aaron Judge, number 2, Tatis, Ramirez. Again, I think that Cleveland-Detroit game, check your schedule, rained out. Luis Robert could have a monster day in Coors Field. So a lot of things there. What can you do? You can do a lot. Go into pro settings. You can say, I want to fade 100%. Whoever you want to fade. A lot of people fade the A's. You can take the A's out of play. You can take whoever you want. Of course, you risk if somebody on that team does go off, and A's have been playing better, I guess, but they don't have, a lot of salary to work with. But fade whoever you want, save it. You'll remove them. I'm not going to fade anybody. I'm going to show you. Lock in anybody you want. If you want Strider in every lineup, because you say there's no way against the Giants he's not going to strike out 40 guys tonight. It won't be 40. Could be 20. Probably going to be in the teens. So projected 37% in our ownership projection. So for him, that's not bad, considering the upside. You got Lopez 23%. You can lock and load. If you want to load Strider and Woodruff, you can lock them if you want to lock Acuna across. But I'm going to show you the power of the stack attack mode. Tonight, 13 game slate. I like the possibility of the winning team having 5 players that have correlation. I'm going to let it do its thing. What I've been watching up here, we update these feeds every 30 minutes. So I could mumble or rumble or ramble for the next 30 minutes or 3 minutes to let that update. I'll probably do that. It's less than 3 now. Let me have a sip of my seltzer. Let me show you that when I go 5, I could go auto. I could smash, stack one team. Like if I just believe the Braves, Cobb's decent. I mean, I'm not as brave aggressive on the offensive side as I am on the pitcher. For them, I might look to get different with maybe the Rockies game. I don't know how different. I mean, a lot of people are going to look at that game. So, but if I want to smash either of those teams, I can stack 5 of the Rockies or 5 of the White Sox. Probably be more popular with Robert. Dodgers against Alcantara. You can go both ways. And the Dodgers are running on all cylinders. I definitely wouldn't stack. I mean, it sounds bad, but I probably fade the Giants, right? I mean, in Atlanta, they've been hitting anemically. But I'm going to let it do its thing. As soon as it updates, it's got a couple minutes. I'm going to go on auto stat 5. I'm going to let it show me. This strategy is for 20 max or more. You know, there's a nice $3 mini max on DraftKings that probably tonight, I didn't look, at least 75,000. First place would be 7,500. If it's 100,000, first place 10,000. If they 13 game slate, they got aggressive. Sometimes I've seen them at 125,000, which is 15,000 on top. That's a nice, attractive price, but you could do max whatever you want up to 150 on a 50-cent game, I think, $1 game on DraftKings. Okay, it's updating, showing me less than a minute. It's going to give me a prompt. I'm going to update it so it doesn't interfere with the latest and greatest projection. You see like a 0 there because the provider hasn't filled in yet. A couple of these, they will throughout the day. Let me show you, it's almost updating. Thank you for your patience. I've got less than a few minutes. Next update anytime now. I'm gonna force it to, I'm gonna redo. Should show me that there's less than 30 minutes in the next. I'm still saying, come on down. You gotta imagine we got 5 or 7 feeds plus our blend coming in. So it doesn't happen in a snap, but it will happen. Show me something good. Waiting for all those feeds to get an update. We're going to change this to where you can actually update it at your own convenience. Right now, it's just set on automation. Okay, let's see if I can get it to do it one more time. Still not fully loaded. While we're waiting, Sportstopia, there it is, sportstopia.io or Sportstopia HQ for headquarters.com. You can read the About Me page. Super excited. Ed Williams, 2-time Emmy Award winner, former content director, NBCSports.com and Roto World, putting together the team of teams. You can read all the cool things that you will gain access to. You read this little quote there. Going to be very cool. We believe one of the premier one-stop destination places to get your latest and greatest fantasy and sports wagering information, gateways to fantasy sports logic, and other very cool things. What do we got going on here? Where's the optimizer? Come on, update for me. Where are you at? Show me something good. Normally it just goes boom, so I don't know if what's happening. I mean, I can run it anyway. I'll show you. It will let me update. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's being stubborn. It's been running so friggin' fast. We are waiting. Here we go. I think we're getting the update. I think we just did it. Let's see. There it is. Yes. Past 30 minutes. Okay. Let me show you. Thank you for waiting. I'm going to go into stack 5. I let this calculate. When this turns orange over here, I didn't fade anybody. I could have. I didn't lock anybody. I could have. I could have got min and max exposure on anybody I wanted to, but I didn't. Just wanted to show you the power of what it has been programmed to do after 8 months. Give me auto. Show me stack attack mode where this is done and this turns orange again. I'm going to turn that baby on, which is going to get me as different as I can get, or as diverse as I can get, with as many different pitcher matchups. Again, I could have locked Strider and Woodruff and just said let it run. Might not be a bad thing to do. And then just let it smash on certain teams. But I'm going to show you the diversity, since you've been so patient, if you are still here, on the power of what people are ranting and raving about. I mean, $1 for 7 days, $29.97 a month, or one-time lifetime. Currently, while in beta, $299.97. All the sports, all this functionality. Show me where there's greater value. People used to say, well, show me it can win. I have been lately, although this is a disclaimer, this information is for educational and edutainment purposes only. We do not guarantee results that I have or others have will be what you have. But if we do show it's possible. Stack attack mode is on. Auto 5. Show me something good. Got my alert. My meeting is starting in 4 minutes, so I'm gonna show you very quickly some really cool stuff. It's working over 1 million different possibilities in the background trying to do this. Here is proprietary blend of the 7. Here are 5 of the 7. We have a little slider. 6 of the 7. 7 of the 7. And back to the blend. The blend is saying it likes Strider with Lopez and a Cleveland stack, and I should have knowing, and I don't think it knows yet, and I haven't confirmed it, but that there's a possibility of that game not happening. But you see, that's the blend. Here is an Oriole stack, never a bad thing, with Paxton and Skubal. There's Gibson and Anderson, Woodruff and Skubal. See the different variations? Strider, Woodruff, I love that one. That's my 2 guys for the day. It gave me a St. Louis stack of 5. It gave me in one of my 3 off positions, because you get 8 player positions and 2 pitchers. Gave me Machado for the Padres against the Diamondbacks. Never a bad Tyler O'Neill. I had a home run for the Mets yesterday. And LaCastro. I'm not sure if he's locked in yet, so you may check him. But let me show you an example. Show me 150. Give me much crazy diversity coverage as you can give me. Here we go. This is cool to watch. It's working on as much as it can possibly work on with the data. Watch what happened, and this is like the coolest part ever. Working away, speeding up max exposure, prioritizing stack bonuses. What's it gonna show me? It's gonna show me, look at the variation, diversity. I got 6 Tiger lineup, 6 Cleveland, 6 Houston, 5 Tampa Bay, 6 Atlanta, 6 Rangers, 6 Brewers, 6 Twins, 6 Yankees, 6 Dodgers, 6 Diamondbacks, 6 Padres, 6 Mariners, 6 Giants, 6 Giants against Strider. He got knocked out a few starts ago in the 2nd inning, so it's possible. I don't know if the Giants with their bats, unless they did some sort of hypnotism on the flight to Atlanta to start to swing and hit, not swing and miss. But anyways, that's diversity, that's coverage to the nth degree. You say, well, who are those teams? shows you the team. You can like them or love them. You can use this to pick out 20 of your favorite in the match 20 or 3 of your favorite. If you do single or match 3, I would tend to get not as dependent on stacks, but that's the magic. Like I say, if you saw some stacks in there you just didn't want, you could fade a team entirely. You could get more condensed. Whatever you think is your flavor for the day, but I'm going to do what I love to do. I'm going to record this video. Wish everybody an amazingly awesome, super spectacular, and most importantly, prosperous Fantasy Friday. I'm going to render this and jump to my next call. Have an awesome day, everybody.